consent of the secured party and the debtor. The debtor will sell, dispose, or otherwise transfer the collateral or any interest therein without the prior written consent of the secured party, and the debtor shall keep the collateral free from unpaid charge, including rent, tax, and lien. E. The debtor shall excuse along or with the secured party and the financing statement of other document or prosecutor. F. Debtor shall remain insurance at all times with respect to all collateral against risk of fire, theft, and other such risk in such amount as the secured party may require. The police shall be payable to the boss and secured party and the debtor as their interest. G. The debtor shall make all repairs, replacement, additions, and improvements necessary to remain any equipment in good working order and condition. At its option, secured party may discharge tax, lien, or other encumbrance at any time, devised or placed all the collateral, may pay rent or insurance due on the collateral, may pay for the maintenance and the preservation of the collateral. Debtor agree to reimburse secured party on demands for any payment made or an expense and incurred by secured party pursuant to the following. 3. The debtor shall be default under this agreement upon the happening of any of the following. A. Any misrepresentation in connection with this agreement on the party of the debtor, any compliance with or non-performance of the debtor's obligation and the debtor note or disagreement. If debtor is involved in any financial difficulty, any evidence by any assignment for the benefit of creditors creditor or two on attachment or receivership of assets. Assignment for the debtor or creditor or two on attachment or receivership of asset not dissolved with 30 days. Or 3. The institution of bankruptcy proceeding, whether involving or involvement. Open default at any time thereafter. Secured party may declare all obligation secured hereby immediately due and payable and shall have the remedy of a secured party. Secured hereby immediately due and payable and shall have to remedy of a secured party under the Uniform Commercials. Page 57, number C. If debtor is involved in any financial difficulty as evidenced by 1 on assignment for the debt benefit of creditor or 2 on attachment or receivership of asset not dissolved without 30 days. Institution of bankruptcy proceeding, whether voluntary or involuntary, which is not dismissed within 30 days from the date of which it is filed. Open default and any other time thereafter. Secured party may declare all obligation secured hereby immediately due and payable and shall have the remedies of a secured party under the Uniform Commercial Code. Secured party may require the debtor to make it available to secured party at a place which is naturally convenient. No warranty. This agreement shall inure to the benefit of the blind, the heirs, executor, administrator, successor, and the sign of the party. This agreement shall inure to the benefit of and bind the heirs, executor, administrator, successor, and the signs of parties. This agreement shall have the effect of an instrument on the seal, date, and chapter secret party. Something. Next to page 58. Is passed. 60. Release of lien. 60. Release of lien. Okay, break time. You go to the restroom. You're outside. 10-minute break. Okay, page 60. 60, release of lien. If somebody getting the lien of my property, house or land, after that I paid all the money and release of lien. No, all men by these present, that the undersigned for the in consideration of the payment of sum of how much? The dollars. For example, $50,000. Small page in them, $50,000 paid by who? Debtor paid, all amount paid by debtor, receipt of which is hereby acknowledged. Again. Paid by, receipt of which is hereby acknowledged, hereby released, and required to be sent. Any name. For example, Johnny Pay, it's okay. Is a successor and assigned, and to Hazard Lee, it's okay. The owner, to the owner should pay to the debtor. Should debt. All liens, right, claims of demands of any kind whatsoever, which the assigned now has or might have against the building on premise regardless, described as legal description. Legal description meaning for the if the other party. That's it. On account of letter, a labor performed and or material furnished for the construction of any improvement thereon, that all labor and materials used by the undersigned in the erection of said improvement have been fully paid for, date and signature, in which thereof meaning for the notary public, which is thereof I have here to set by hand seals these days of something, months and year, something like that. The release of lien. Release of lien, always we need a notary public. Any involved that the property, real property, in case we need every time notary public. Page 61. Demand by secured party for possession or interest. Demand by secured party for non-secured party. Okay. Demand by secured party for possession of collateral. Date to somebody. Pursuant to the security agreement dated what date, what month, and 19 something, 2025 something, by this between us, wherein you were obligated to deliver some as collateral. The bottom is the address, legal terminology. You are presently in default on the said agreement. Therefore, demand is hereby made unto who to secure by possession of said collateral. Pursuant to the security agreement dated some by between us, wherein you were obligated to deliver as collateral. In the bottom for the address legal terminology, you are presently in default on the said agreement. Therefore, demands is hereby made unto you to surrender possession of said collateral to me immediately as something pursuant to the terms of the security agreement and the Uniform Commercial Code. Something. Next page, assignment of deed of trust. Deed of trust meaning for the house or land for the trust. Page 62, for value received, the undersigned whereby grant, assign, and transfer to somebody all beneficial interest on the certain deed of trust. And recorded as instruments, number some, on some, in book. This meaning for the legal terminology. Page some official record in the office of the county of recorder of county name, California, describing land in said county as. In the bottom, legal terminology also, together with the note or notes thereon described or referred to. The money due to the become due thereon with interest, and all right acquired or to acquire accrued on the said deed of trust. Date today, Statement, California, County of Los Angeles, something. In the bottom line is notary public. If you carry that the notary public, that one is house or land selling every time the Next page. 64. Acknowledgement of receipt of goods. Date 2. The undersigned hereby acknowledgement receipt and delivery of the goods described on the UNICEF the list or invoice and further acknowledgement that said goods have been inspected and are without effect, signed and sealed with the date something. Next page 65 is will. We need will, simple form. Will as any special form, any not special form, will make any person make that will, they can make them. But most important one, if that make that the will, we need two people's witness. Two people witness sign on the paper. If not sign on the paper, two witness, that's the not effective, no will. Anybody make the will, he made two person, two or more, two person witness, they need that. Witness just watching the make that the will, yeah, his mental, any problem, any no problem, any he's the he can make by own his idea, he can make that the will, just sign witness, two persons witness, that's all. And then the other one is doesn't matter. Okay, will, we should make them. Last will and testament of some date. Somebody making that the will, for example, 1 year ago, and then should put right down last will and testament of January 9th, 4th of January 1925 something, 2025, 24 something. Last will date is so important. I am a resident of my address, county of this crime, that this is my will. First, I revoke all will and conceal that I have previous made. That's so important. I revoke all will and conceals that I have previously made them. If I made them 1 year ago, or 10 years ago, 1 month ago, or 3 days ago, if I made them any will, I revoke, meaning for the cancel, I revoke all witness and conceals that I have previously made. I revoke previously made. Second, I'm not currently married. I'm not currently married, or I am married. I have no children now living, nor have I deceased children who died and left issue. That's so important. I have a child or not. I have a wife or not. If I married, all the property is automatically to the wife. If I have any child, 50% to wife, 50% is child, doesn't matter how many person. For example, 3 child, in case my all property is half of them to my wife, and half of them, they divided three person, doesn't matter, son or girl. That's all the property, all the house or land, all the properties of 50% to my wife. And the 50% is the same value divided to my children. That's important. Third, I give all my jewelry, clothing, household furniture, and furnishing, personal automobile, and other tangible antiques of personal nature, and my interest in any such property not otherwise disposed of by this will or in any other manner, together with any insurance on the property to somebody meaning my wife or my child, who presently reside at his address, if he or she survives me by 30 days, if he or she survives me by 30 days, and if he or she does not so survive me, then I give all property to somebody who present reside at his address, and if she or he does not survive me by 30 days, then to somebody who present reside at address, otherwise to pass with the reside of my estate. Fourth, I give the residue my estate as follows: A, to somebody, my wife or my child, who presently reside at address, should he or she survive me by 30 days. Survive me meaning after I dead, he alive. If somebody who presently reside at address does not survive me by 30 days, then to who present reside at address, meaning when I died, for the example January 1st, 2025, and then any survivor, any my wife or my child, all the property, but he died after 20 days, in case any other persons all the property. Should he or she survive me by 30 days, if he or she should not so survive me, then I give the rest and residue of my estate to those persons who would have taken said property under the interest laws of the state of California. Fifth, I nominate somebody who shall be represented by somebody, by executor of this will, to survive without bond, if he or she shall for any reason relate to execute, I nominate who shall be represented by somebody as the executor to serve without bonds. The terms my executor as used in this will shall include any personal representative of my estate. I authorize my executor to sell, with or without notice, at either fifth, and then second line. I authorize my executor to sell, with or without notice, at either public or private sale, and to leave any property belonging to my estate, subject only to such conformation of court and may be required by law. I authorize my executor to invest and reinvest any surplus money in the executor held in